Shout out, the Connects. Luis Guzman. Don't ever go, never leave my side. Passion's all I have, courage is my drive. And if I lost you, I would lose it all together. I wouldn't have composure to get it back together. I don't know.
Welcome to I'm an Artist, Not a Salesman podcast, where we highlight the journey of entrepreneurs, creatives, and business people alike to showcase that every light and dark moment create a beautiful piece of art. This is episode 53. I am your host, Luis Guzman. My guest today is the self-proclaimed Wall Street middleman. He is the owner and CEO of floorstocks.com, a revolutionary social media platform that connects creators with companies and beyond. He bridges the gap from Main Street to Wall Street, and he has been instrumental in consulting major companies throughout his career as well. His background also includes media, capital marketing, investing, VC funding, finance, television, production, investor relations, and even Cuban cigars. The quote-unquote expert of mergers and acquisitions and a public relations genius. We both went to Cuba once together 10 years ago, and now we are back to catch up on all the amazing things he has going on now. The man who's going to help me further diversify my portfolio, Richard Davis. Welcome to the show, brother.
Thank you.
Dude, man, thank you for making time.
So
man.
glad to see you.
Likewise. I mean, literally, I'm not making that up for the crowd. 10 years ago, I think it was the last time we were in Cuba together.
Yeah, it was in Cuba.
That was a wild ride, right?
Fun times.
Fun times,
Very
man.
fun times.
Finding cigars, finding wrappers, finding different blends.
That's right.
And eating a lot of food that made us overweight. Now we're both in good shape. You look amazing, by the way.
Health is wealth.
So health is wealth, man. Yep. So, just happy to kind of have the full circle moment to come back and kind of catch up, man. It's pretty cool.
It's a joy and it's a journey.
Oh, love it,
and it's
man.
A pleasure.
No, my pleasure's all mine, Richard. So I ask this to everybody when they first come on, and I ask you the same thing.
Correct.
Who is Richard Davis?
Who am I not? I think that'd probably be the bigger question, right? I mean, because I do wear a lot of hats. But first and foremost, I am a father of two. Two amazing boys, one 3, and the other one's turning 17. So I think the last time you know him, it's
last time I saw you, he was 6.
Yeah, time flies, right?
Jeepers.
So I am a father first, but 2, I'm just kind of a hard nose on Wall Street.
Yeah.
The middleman, the PR guy, the finance guy, the advisor, sometimes even, the consultant for most CEOs to get awareness and to give visibility.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And and I never, like I said, we've known each other for a long time, but I never got to sit down and really, go over, your story, right? So I want to start at the beginning, where you're from, family, roots, and how you cultivated that into a career in Wall Street.
Such a weird path, man. It is because
twists
and turns, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we could sit here all day and actually discuss it, but the thing is, I grew up in a little small town of East Texas called Tyler, Texas. Pretty big family. It's 5 of us, and a total of 7, mom and dad. But it wasn't so easy, right? I mean, we didn't grow up rich. Dad was a postal worker. Mom was,
Get out of here.
Yeah.
My wife's a postal worker.
Yeah. Honorable thing, man. Hard.
Very honorable, man. God bless him.
Working people.
Very hard work. So you were, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but so father was a postal worker and your mother?
Mother did ins and out jobs, I think she worked at a hospital, and sometimes she was just an at-home mother, stay at home.
Homemaker.
Yep. But awesome. she's had other, she's a great entrepreneur. And one of the things she's, has a creative side, unlike most women, I believe, right?
Yeah, it's rare to hear. I mean, there's women in the space that are entrepreneurs, right?
Correct.
But you never hear it from close to home like you're telling me. So I'm interested, is that how you got your entrepreneurial inspiration from your mom?
Yeah, my mom, and also from my uncle as well. My uncle was in real estate, so that was a big thing. And one of the things he asked me was, and I asked him, I said, well, how did you become so wealthy? Right. That's not
you
really,
asked. Yeah.
It said do 2 things: real estate or stocks.
Really?
Yeah. And I knew I couldn't sell houses, so
so you jumped into the stocks.
Jumped into stocks.
What a profound, what a profound advice your uncle gave you, because even now in 2025, I mean, that's the one thing me and my wife are very key on:
Correct.
real estate, stocks.
Correct.
Invest, diversify. Make sure you get in at the right time. Don't go towards where everybody's going. You kind of go away. So, really beautiful that you kind of, have gone through the same thing with, your uncle telling you that. Mm-hmm. So your uncle tells you real estate stocks.
Correct.
What happens next?
Life, right?
Yep.
That's when you go through things, you go to school, you figure out that some things just don't work right away.
Right.
So you start doing, using your hands, and stuff like that, and I became a truck driver, which was crazy.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
So wait a minute, time out. So you went to college.
Yep.
Truck driver after?
Truck driver after.
What school did you go to?
University of North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Yeah.
Come on, Tar Heels.
Yeah, Tar Heels.
So you had like a 4.0000 GPA.
No.
That's a hard school to get into.
But you realize that, sometimes there's a thing called watered down economics, which are not really teaching you these valuable things about, the stock market.
Okay.
You don't really learn those unless you are, more Ivy League school or have experience from someone else on the trading floor. That's kind of how it actually works sometimes. Most people don't get that.
What's that watered down economics? If you could break that down.
Basic fundamentals, right? Like if you go, most can sit there and go, okay, you know what? These are the basics, right? You can understand simple mathematics, right?
Mm-hmm.
Algebraic expressions, stuff like that. You probably work as an analyst or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they don't teach you, how to trade, and they'll teach you those sort of things, but they never teach you exactly what goes on behind the veil and the curtains of everything else.
So what goes behind the veil and the curtain that they don't teach you, but they should be teaching you? Like, how can they make you a force when you get into finance and Wall Street?
It's a lot of it's just through connections, right? Mm-hmm. So that's the main thing. As long as you establish connections, then you can kind of actually know a little bit more. Most people will teach you. I mean, you still, like for me, I'm still a student, right?
Right.
Regardless of how much experience I have.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And you're still learning.
Right.
So let's go back to North Carolina. So
Mm-hmm.
you graduate from college?
I didn't.
You didn't?
I didn't.
So tell me what happened. What was the speed bump there?
I created a business where we did inventory management for car dealerships.
Really?
Yeah.
I never knew this.
Yeah,
Get out of here.
We did pictures, stop stickers. We were charging, dealers $5,000 a pop.
Wow.
And we end up getting pretty big while we were in school that I focused more on that and actually didn't complete it.
Get out of here. So you were already an entrepreneur in heart, like doing this. How about before college? Did you have any entrepreneurial endeavors like in high school or?
I mean, making computers and stuff like that, putting modems in and
come on, man.
$50 here, $100 there.
Dude, you found where there's a will, there's a way.
There's a way, right?
So this entrepreneurial spirit lived and thrived in you.
Correct.
Wow. How big of a dichotomy was that? Because your mother had the entrepreneurial spirit, but your father was, blue collar, hardworking man. What did you get? Obviously, we know what you got from your mom.
Correct.
What did you get from your father that helped you develop and further in entrepreneurship?
Well, it teaches you, levels of respect for other people, and regardless of what their jobs are, you just keep because we're not. The way I look at it is that we're not one person's smarter than the other, right? Like you may have more of a skill set that you're a genius at one area, and I did try to go to work for the post office and end up getting fired, right?
Stop. How'd you get, please tell me that story. How did you get, because you can't get fired from the post office.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, you can voluntarily quit, right?
Oh, yeah.
and they tell you can't come back, or they can tell you, like it's probably not in your best interest to come back, right? So.
Was that your dad's idea to have you go to the post office?
Yeah. Yes. That's when I was, starting off in college. I went to junior college, and a lot of my friends were also there. They were my classmates I'd already known through high school, and we used to just go in and chunk the bins, the boxes to the bins. And
get out of here.
Because we were in school, we couldn't stay, at I think it was past midnight, right?
Yes.
And so that was a rule of thumb. And so we had a supervisor that was there, and he was, seeing us starting to leave. And he goes, no, you guys stay until
Everything's thrown.
Everything's thrown. And my guys are sitting behind me, like one for all. They're going, I'm going to quit. I'm going to quit. Forget this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And whatever. And I'm walking out the door. I'm doing the same thing. I turn back around. They're gone. Right.
Wow.
And so I didn't talk too much noise and then got too far ahead. And like, I turn back around. They're back there throwing the boxes. I'm the one that's left back here, like ready to quit.
Get out of here. So they all went back and left. Did you go back or you just kept,
I kept moving.
You kept moving.
Yeah.
Man, was your dad disappointed?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you talk about someone that's been here for 30 years, but the awesome thing is, the ironic thing is when you make it, you turn around and you can retire him.
Oh, so you were able to retire your father. Oh, that's so awesome, man.
So scared. He was so scared to retire.
Really? Get out of here. I mean, you know what? Because it's kind of like a systematic, almost like a Stockholm syndrome. Like you're so used to like the rigmarole and the everyday go, stop, go, stop. So, and it takes a different level of strength to be a postal carrier.
It does.
Because man, I mean, rain, sleet, hail, snow, and then they're walking, they're driving, they're dogs. Like, there's so many variables, right? So I commend your father for his service.
I do too.
And I think that his hard work has really attached to you.
Correct.
Because that's something you saw growing up. And did that also affect you in a way that you wanted better, seeing your dad come home tired and
of course
probably cranky and
of course
sweaty and I don't want to do that. How did that affect you, seeing your dad go through that?
It plays a huge role, in your life. I mean, it's just, it's very well respectful of what he does, but sometimes inside of, yourself, you want to do a lot more. And for him, he didn't ever see that or even know, even from years on what I was doing, even when I went public.
Really?
Yeah. No, it's all Greek to him. So
get out of here.
My uncle had to explain to him, was like, hey, your son's going on a stock exchange, This is big.
It's a big thing. But to him, it wasn't, he didn't feel that because he wasn't in tune to that.
No.
Right?
No.
So, ignorance is bliss, right?
Correct.
So if he didn't know about it, it's not that he doesn't care, but he just didn't have the microscope on it.
Well, even at the time, even though I became the youngest African American to own a publicly traded company at that time.
Wow. And how old were you at that time?
This was probably in my late 20s.
Like 27,
29.
First African American to go public on the stock market.
Correct.
What was the company?
That was Rich Cigars.
That was Rich Cigars.
That was youngest at the time.
Come on.
Yeah.
That was the 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Wow. I was with you in these times. And I didn't even know this.
Yeah.
Holy cow, man. Whoa. Well, I don't want to fast forward because I want to get through the journey till we get to Rich Cigars.
Yep.
Take me back, but we're going to table that, but I want to get back to that. We're going to go full circle. Take me to dropping out of college, and how did you go from working with car dealerships to dropping out of college to being a truck driver? Not an entrepreneur.
Correct.
Please explain to me that whole setup.
It's just life, right? So doing the dealership thing, that turned pretty big for us. But technology advanced where dealers could come in and just use a scan system with the VIN barcode, which just threw us out. We were
obsolete.
Absolutely,
Yeah, gotcha.
We sold our dealerships to our competitors, and you know how that goes, and sold everything else. So it's back to square one and back to the next venture, but trying to figure it out from there.
So then you started doing the truck driving. Was that just a means to an end?
It was my brother going, you need to go ahead and start driving trucks because you don't seem like you know what you want to do, right?
Well, then again, you were how old, 18?
Yeah.
Who the hell knows what they want at 18?
I mean, it's tough. I mean,
you're trying to figure it out.
I was doing so much when, I ended up working at Cracker Barrel.
Come on.
Yes.
Wow. How was that? I mean, besides the free food, right?
Yeah. I mean, but brutal. Those orders in the back to... I got to a point where the manager was telling me to get this, and why don't you have this ready and prep this, and I need 4 milkshakes, and I need this. And I'm sitting back there with an apron on and with 1 star. I think, they had a star system. And I'm looking at my life going, this can't be it, right?
I used to work with car dealerships, making $5,000 a dealership. Yeah. Now I got a 1-star apron on, serving milkshakes and cornbread.
And God. I took the robe off, and I looked at him, and all I hear is like tunnel vision. He goes, "You quit right now. You better not come back." And it reminded me of like the postal worker thing. So
yeah, same thing. Yeah.
I just looked at him, put the rope down, and said, "I'm out of here." Right. And he goes, "Don't you? You're not welcome to ever come back here again and work."
That was his actual accent. Like, well, you better not leave now.
That's good old East Texas voice, right?
Wow, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah, Texas voice. Yeah.
So,
wow. So you walked out.
Yep.
And at this time, living with your parents, living on your own.
Yeah, I was living with my
Did you
parents.
have your son yet or no? Or?
Fast forward, this is when I started driving trucks. I mean, when my ex-wife, of course, and she's a great woman. I mean, by the way, that, she understood that, we were kind of struggling. So I had to do something, right? And at the time, we had a lot of debt up to our ears, house and, cars and stuff like that. Things I'm not so used to actually having to take care of as much.
Right.
And ended up driving trucks for a local refinery company. End up getting into stocks a little bit more at that time by driving the trucks, just building something, right? I built the website. It was called Investor's Voice.
Investor's Voice.
Didn't know why I was building it, but was just building it. Just wanted.
Was that just like fun for you, or just like something to get away from the truck driving?
Sometimes like you're called to do certain things, right? Like it's this weird thing. Like you can just be building something, then it all makes sense of why you're doing it, right? And so that happened. I told her, I said, "Listen, I'm building something. I don't know what or where it's supposed to go, but I do want to talk about stocks on like maybe a site or something, right? And I do want to get traction. It's like the .com area and stuff that would, start getting bigger. And I would drive my trucks and I would take my paychecks because I wasn't making even a lot of money with truck driving. I think I was probably bringing on
$500 a week.
$500, $700 a week. I told her, I said, "Listen, these credit cards they're not going to get paid this month, right? Like I got to take this money and like we're struggling and actually do something." I wouldn't recommend that. Like that takes a strong foundation to be able to swallow that. But we did. And I ended up getting, a lot of ridicule because I knew a lot about stocks. But, you're always a teacher, a student at the time, right? So, I mean, it'd be guys, what do you know about? I remember I was on the CV one time and I started, driving and, there was this other coworker. He got on the microphone thing in the CV. And he's like, "Driver, what does a black man know about stocks?"
They really said that?
Said it, yeah.
What the?
I said enough I'm gonna be out of here. And he goes, the thing he told me, he goes, "Yeah, I've been here 20, 30 years. I'll probably see you here too."
He said that.
He said that.
Wow.
It didn't hurt me. It didn't hurt me, everyone.
Right. Again, ignorance is bliss.
Ignorance is bliss.
You don't
right?
know what you don't know. Yeah. But that must have been a hell of a motivation steam for you.
Yeah, you just keep going, right?
Keep going, yeah.
One of the things happened at that time was once I got the site up and I started putting companies up there, then companies started noticing me. And groups of people started noticing me that were actually on Wall Street. Wow. And it got big. We started having engagement on it, and people started, responding to polls and, starting to have the ability to communicate a little bit more effective with watching other companies.
Wow. So you were tell me about the Investor's Guide.
Investor's Voice.
Investor's Voice, sorry. Yeah. So with the Investor's Voice, you created an outlet for companies to see what like the stocks, how they're moving, or what to buy.
It was for traders to go in and be able to see some of the companies that were mid-sized companies or emerging growth companies.
Emerging growth. So kind of like a cheat sheet strategy on who to invest in, or
I mean, it's just you kind of go with the trends, right? And the companies start noticing it, other people start noticing it, and they start to pay me for it.
Really?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
And when did you start getting paid for this?
When I was driving in trucks.
Wow, so you're driving trucks and now they're noticing you and they're paying you for the service.
They're starting to count, these checks now are $1,000, here and there. And while I'm driving in the truck, and I mean, there's some I started doing $1,500, in a week on some.
Wow.
And then they started getting bigger, 2,500. And it's yeah.
Now, forgive my ignorance, but what was the value they saw that you were providing that equated to them paying you $1,500, $2,000, whatever the case is?
Wall Street is very like visibility is about trading, right? So having new retail shareholders to engage with your company or buy your stock or to, hear your story, is very keen and very important. It's what moves the needle.
And that's what you were using with the investor's voice.
Correct. I was just in the right position at the right time.
And you were creating these stories and this traction to kind of attract these retail buyers.
Correct.
I see. And that's where the value came.
That's where the value came.
Got it. So so they're starting to pay you. The switch, when did it happen where you just said, forget this, screw this truck driving stuff, man. I'm all in.
It got to a point where those checks started turning into like 5,000 to, 7,500 here and there. And so I'm starting to like get out of that credit card debt and that, seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. And I'm just having this like epiphany that if I just quit, I'm scared.
Yeah, it's fear. It's the unknown. It's the unknown. Yeah. And you're still with your wife at this time, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like a singular decision. This is you and her both have to agree. Like, should I leave this trucking gig and just focus full time on the investor's voice? How was that transition for you?
Man, I always think that when you're in that world of the things that are supposed to happen at the right time, some things do happen too as well that we can't control.
Right.
For me, it was driving the trucks to Denison and watching that morning. I guess that night I had kind of like had a hard time, right? And the story was my ex-wife. I went to her. I said, "Listen, I'm tired, baby. Like this is, I don't know whether to quit or continue going, or step out on faith, whatever the case is." I put a proposal in for a client. It was like $50,000, and I never forget the company was called eDoorways.
eDoorways?
eDoorways.
eDoorways. Okay.
Yeah, they were out of Austin, Texas.
Okay. What did they do?
They were trying to eDoorways. What was it? So long. I've done so many companies. I think eDoorways was it was like just a technology company, right?
Okay.
That dealt with streaming, and that they were kind of like getting on that, that side of it,
Got it.
FaceTime and all that stuff. But they didn't go anywhere. But I tell you, I put in a proposal for $50,000, and just one of those things. I said, well, God, if it comes through, it comes through. If it don't, it don't, right?
Right.
But there's a situation that took place that day. I was actually driving. I used to haul gas, for the refinery. And one of the other truckers that was coming down the road came in front. Well, he was going. There was a woman that was going in the left lane. Obviously, it's just one of those one roadways, and she collided.
Whoa!
And he ended up getting hit as well. Another truck driver, big, huge, massive thing, and I was only like a few minutes from being down the road.
Oh my God!
And I knew that truck driver to happen.
Really?
Yeah. And so that situation turned my life because I had to pull over, and I was actually kind of crushed because I knew his family, right?
Oh man!
And
he passed away.
He passed away.
Oh man!
So it got to a point where I had to obviously ride in with another trucker back to the yard. So when I got back to the yard, I received a phone call, shaking and stuff like that, what just took place. And there was a company, eDoorways. He said, "We'll accept your $50,000 proposal."
Wow.
Now you're telling me like this $50,000 in 1 month, right? Changed my life and my whole, trajectory of like things to come.
Jeepers.
So I end up, still fearful of quitting. I had such a great supervisor that I went to him. I had seniority too, man. So,
how long were you doing the truck driving for?
3 years.
Wow. Okay.
Dedicated though,
Jeez.
And I went to him. I said, I got an offer to do something else and say it's just a lot. I said, can I still come back if things don't work out? And he was from Louisiana. He says, "Do you, man? Do you? Right? Do you? You still can come back. This and that." And
that's
I quit.
Cool of him.
I quit. I went home. I quit. The money came in the mail. Money came through the next day, and I started working, and they started taking notice. And the next thing I know, I made, a couple $1 million in 1 month. So.
In 1 month.
In 1 month, yeah.
How did you get to that million?
They gave me stock. They gave me combination of stocks and cash. This was like back in the day, so it was so easy to give stock back in the day.
Right.
Now it's just a lot of more different rules and engagement on. So.
Wow. So and this was all with the doorways.
Oh yeah.
So they gave you a bunch of stock, the 50. Now the proposal you gave them, what did that consist of? Like what was the value again that you gave to them that made them want to give you 50 grand? Like what was,
visibility, right? Visibility. So moves the market. I mean, obviously build volatility in their stock, right?
How do you, is that like, is it like certain things you like practices or to manipulate that or to move the needle?
Nowadays, it's nowadays
it just takes an Instagram post.
Yeah, exactly. And then you got Beyond Meat going crazy, right?
Yeah.
So I think a lot of times those things are actually they're orchestrated through institutions.
Institutions, right? Yeah. So. There's a lot of propaganda.
Yeah.
And there's actually companies that other companies will hire to,
Correct.
Do some type of, what's that?
Just for capital raise
smear campaign or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So what were you doing different back then that increase the volatility or increase the visibility? Like what were some of those practices?
Our things back in the day. So I always stayed compliant with the SEC when I did do it, right? Okay. So we had access to do emails to, there's guys who were getting paid like $50,000 for like fax machines and which was illegal back in the day, but they were doing it, right?
Really?
Oh yeah.
Sheesh. Yeah. So you couldn't use the fax machines to promote or to
no, it was against
really. I didn't know that.
Rules, yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
So you were doing the emails.
Emails.
You were basically ahead of the curve technology wise,
right?
On kind of giving these companies a little bit of guidance and leadership on where the market was leading towards,
correct,
and helping them create that visibility to, have their stock go up.
Correct.
Okay. So you're basically like hyping up the stock in a way, right?
We don't like to call it.
You can't say again. I like to learn, so I want to know what. Like I like to
marketing awareness. Mm-hmm. That's what we
no hype.
Marketing awareness. That's what it was, right? For us. So that side of it got pretty big for me.
Wow. So you were just. No, go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. I was thinking of something, but that side got big for you. How did you compound the interest on that?
By going back in a Lamborghini at the refining company and picking up my boss and taking him to lunch and looking at the other truck driver to come over and say, "Man, you actually did it." And I go, "Screw you."
Yeah, screw you. Take it. The guy that was on the mic saying, "Oh, what does black guy know about stocks?"
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I want to get into the weeds, but I want to know how that felt. Driving in a Lamborghini, picking up your boss, your old boss. Like, did you feel like, screw you, I made it, or
no,
humble?
Oh, very humble for him.
Okay.
That I gave him cash as well, right?
Get out of here.
Yeah. So it's just one of those things where you just like return the favor.
I see what you mean.
And
pay the blessing forward.
Yeah. Life gets a little stupid thereafter, though.
Oh boy, now we're going down the hill. You ready to go down the hill? Let's go down the hill, Rich.
Yeah.
All right. So you made your big splash, so to speak, in Wall Street, right? Mm-hmm. Now, what's happening? Tell me. Bring me the whole 360.
Now you're buying a huge home down in Houston, Texas, and your Lamborghinis and all your good stuff, and life gets it runs fast, right? And it runs fast, and if you don't watch it, it can definitely run even faster.
Yeah.
So it works. Things got bigger. One of the things I actually did was I always been a student, right? So always like even now, seeing how far I've come and how large I'm getting to, this is awesome.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Growing.
Yeah.
But with the big explosion when you were buying these Lamborghinis and everything, like, were you still married at the time to your wife?
Still married.
Okay. So,
not like a cheater. Her and I were like, very, very like easy to communicate with.
Right.
It's just, we just outgrew each other.
Yeah. Now, outgrew each other. Like, she didn't want Lamborghinis and you did?
She could care less about them.
So you were the spender.
I was a spender.
I mean, that had to cause some type of friction in the household, right?
It does.
Like, were you just buying like Lambos, Rolexes, or whatever, and you'd be all right?
Yeah,
Like, what was the turmoil? How did that separate?
Those things happen so quick, right? That you can go out of a farmhouse to, a big, huge mansion, right? So that That happens.
Jeez.
Lifestyle wise, you know, you just kind of you get this whole, if you don't watch it, you can lose vision or sight of each other. And it creates a separational divide. And that's pretty much what happened. But we got to a point where, you know, even when we went through the divorce side of it, you know, we were able to reconcile our differences and actually, you know, she's such a wonderful person. Both of them are.
Awesome.
And, you know, to be the best parents that we can be.
Beautiful, man.
Yep.
Now, you're buying these Lamborghinis. You're balling, right?
Yeah.
Got a little cocky?
You ever seen
Wolf of Wall Street? But this is what I'm envisioning as you're telling me this. So,
you know, Joey McFarlane is a dear friend of mine who's actually the old producer of Wolf of Wall Street, one of the directors.
Really? I didn't know that.
If you know, he's on my Instagram. Him and I, like, we speak probably a couple times a year.
And he helped produce the movie?
Yeah. So when he was down in New Orleans, him and I sat back, and he's, for almost a good several months, he's going through, him and I are sitting down just talking. And I'm telling him, oh, yeah, I crashed a Lamborghini. You know, I did this. I had a yellow Lamborghini and cleared a parking lot and hit a pole.
Oh,
you know?
my God.
Yeah.
Just, were you drinking? Were you
drinking?
Wow.
Yeah, drinking.
Was that a tough thing? I mean, were you addicted to alcohol, or was that just one off?
No, I don't think that. I think when you're young and rich, you know, you feel that sense of being invincible.
Yeah, that's
right?
double meaning too. Because you were young and you were rich.
Yeah.
And you were rich.
Yeah.
Your name is
exactly.
Rich. Yeah. So you're dealing with this, like, almost like you're invincible.
Yeah.
Like, I'm unstoppable.
I drive a Lamborghini at 200 miles an hour.
That's I mean, so it's like the endorphin release that you must be feeling, making these hundreds and thousands of dollars.
Correct.
Coming from truck driving background and from a humble beginning in Texas, and you're just like, that has to be a rush like no other.
Correct.
Like, how do you handle that? I don't think you could have.
You couldn't at a young age. So, you know, by the time 23 came around, like I was pulling in like $1 million in like 1 month. Like
in 1 month?
In 1 month, yeah.
Jesus.
So, you know, it's just, that's when you go, okay, I'm invincible type of behavior at 23.
Yeah, 23,
you know?
man.
Yeah.
And all off of market visibility practices.
Yeah.
Wow. So I'm just like, it makes me think, like, what am I doing in my life? Like, you just, like, I mean, what kind of skill does it take to do that? To create that revenue stream of millions and millions of dollars a month?
For Wall Street, it's just about connections, right? So that's the thing. If you do something good, then you can kind of, you know, increase your rates. And if another person needs, you know, because there's the way money's structured on Wall Street, you know, it's so easy to get what you want, right? If the company is right and they can pretty much raise what they want and give you what you want.
Gotcha, man. And you build a reputation too.
Correct.
You know?
Yeah.
All right, so man, I mean, I'm enamored by all this because I didn't know this. So you crashed your Lambo.
Yeah.
You and your wife separated.
Mm-hmm.
How old are you when you guys separated?
27.
27.
Yeah.
Okay. And how old are you now, if you don't mind me asking?
40.
Oh, you're my age. Yeah, we're in the same.
43.
43. Yeah. So this is about 15 years ago, roughly. So 27, single,
Correct.
still balling.
Yeah.
What's next? What happened?
I mean, it's got to be a father, right? So that's the thing is, we were divorced right around the time my son, which was just kind of like the most horrible thing, right? But, you know, just becoming a father and actually growing to expand, you know, what my knowledge was, developing relationships.
So you were just developing relationships with people in Wall Street.
Correct.
And so what, and I'm getting to Rich Cigars.
Yep.
Because this is around that time, I want to say, right? 27?
Correct.
Well, you were around probably 31
Yep.
when Rich Cigars started. So tell me about the genesis of Rich Cigars, how that came about, and what happened? Did it fail? Why did it fail? Like
Nothing. No, it didn't fail.
Okay,
right?
I don't know the whole story. That's right.
So here's the thing with Rich Cigars. I actually took a hobby out of that, right? So that was my when I got married. You know, when I was down in New Orleans, I went to a cigar shop and I said, "I'm getting married. Give me the most expensive cigar you have, right?" And he sold me one, which was like $35. I mean, you know,
Was it Monte Cristo or something?
yeah, something like that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so, I never really smoked cigars, and I met this other gentleman at this other cigar shop I used to stop by, and he would, educate me on tobacco. And so thankful for him, because him and I are like,
to this day.
Yeah, to this day.
Wow.
So I wanted to learn the business a lot. I said, well, this is pretty cool. I got a little money, so, what can we do? And he's like, yeah, smoke these cigars, smoke this one. This one we got down in Esteli, or down in, Nicaragua, right? So, and I started getting into it a little bit more, and ended up saying, well, can we make our own, I think it'd be pretty cool, like own my own cigar company. And so I brought him on board and actually put up capital.
Okay.
Went down to Santo Domingo.
Okay.
I think we were in Cameroon or something like that. Looked at tobacco and stuff, and went through trial and error. Got some bad samples with like a little bit of cash I put up, and I was like, I wouldn't give these cigars to
for free.
Yeah. It doesn't bring, brand recognition, right?
Right.
And so like I wanted to create this experience with, cigars. That most people probably, that the way of lifestyle I was actually living as well. Wasn't not talking about financially rich, but with, the feeling of being rich.
Right.
Yeah. So we finally got it together.
Wow. And
down there.
And so you met this guy. What was the guy's name again? The one that you met in the cigar shop that taught you about the tobacco?
Al Rushing.
Al Rushing. So you met Al Rushing. You started, putting your own money up, capital, start this company.
Yep.
I remember this. Was this around the time we met?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I was like a pseudo Rich Cigar, collaborator, if you want to say. But we were part of the whole umbrella, trying to push the brand, push the name forward. So you meet with you get the samples. Then you the samples were not good, right?
Yeah. No.
So how did we? I don't know if we were around at this time. I know you were. It was me. James Cruz was somebody that was involved. How did James help you with the whole start with the Rich Cigars?
James had a lot of industry contacts, relationships. He was just a hard guy to get in touch with, right?
Yeah.
So it's like if you got in touch with him, it was like, okay, I'm golden, right?
Finally,
Like, yeah. Sometimes people are just, I call them guides of certain pyramids, right?
Right. Okay.
That if you get in with them, you should be fine, and you can carry yourself with the masses one from there. But he was very instrumental in growth. But initially having that ego, right?
Yeah. And big ego.
Big ego, right? I'll fight you type, and it's like, come on, Jason.
Yeah, it was always odd to me because you were so like quiet and kind of mild mannered. And I love James, man. Shout out to James, but at the time he was like very hype, and it was interesting. How'd you guys balance that?
James had an ego, so the thing is, I work for Wall Street, right?
Yeah.
So the thing was, I remember one time, I was coming all the way from New York to go visit him, and I think it was at Sean Combs' office, right? And so I get all the way to New York, it's coming all the way from like Louisiana. It's like a big thing.
Right.
You're catching a plane, you're
it's a lot of work.
You're, getting off, you got to drive and everything else to get to the office. He goes, oh, I got an artist thing to go do. I got to leave out of here, and we'll meet next time.
Stop. And you took your time to
marinate it. And so
whoa,
I'm like, dude, I was like, you're flaking out on me right now, this and that and the other. And he's like, who do you think you're talking to? It's just this ego thing. And you know what the thing is? I learned is that sometimes you can reel people in through matching their energy, right? And then tone them all the way down. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So I matched his energy with him. And
you gave it back to him?
I gave it back to him, right? So he's like, I'm going to come over there and kick your ass, this and that. And I said, come on, come on.
Wow.
I'm here at your office. Let's go.
Right? Wow. What did he say?
I'm like talking too much right now at the time, right? So he's like, I'm on my way, this and that and the other, Then he gets to the point and, he's talking, calm, right? And we have this conversation and we just basically kind of like marinate the idea. And he's like, bro, I'm sorry, I deal with what's his name, and everything, everything else. And it's just, life is kind of crazy, but That's it. But
wow. So it went from disaster to like a miracle. Yeah. Creation. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yep.
So he helped you with the brand recognition of getting it out there. And then obviously this was, before I guess viral was a thing, but I felt so proud of this because, we were involved in this as well, is when DJ Khaled had the billionaire cigar. Was that Maduro?
Yeah.
Okay, he had the billionaire Maduro, and it's like a thing to this day where he's like, "Call me Billy."
Yeah. The catchphrase.
Call me Billy. So that was like, right? So no one knows this, guys, but the catchphrase to "Call me Billy."
Yep.
Is because of Rich Cigars.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
That was awesome.
I remember that. I remember I was in This is crazy. 'Cause I don't remember a lot of things, but I remember being in Puerto Rico on vacation and looking at my social media and seeing Khaled with the billionaire cigar smoking and saying, "Call me Billy."
Yep.
And I think I text everybody. I text you. I text Chaz.
Yep.
I text everybody. I was like, "Oh my God, this is crazy."
Beautiful, wonderful work, right?
Dude, it was amazing, man. Yep. And Cruz made all that happen?
And Cruz and others as well.
Wow.
But, there was also people that were from the other side, from Nike and
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh God, what's the guy with the sneakers? I can't think of his darn name.
Saunders.
Yes. So also he made that. Yeah, because Derek Saunders.
Reggie Saunders.
Yep. Sorry, apologize, Reggie.
Yep.
Reggie Saunders, great guy. Yeah, we had a cigar together. Yep. You, me, him, Cruz. But I remember he was a big head at Nike.
Correct.
And obviously DJ Khaled and Nike are like one. That's a beauty of a match that came together. So you're riding that wave now with DJ Khaled repping the billionaire Rich Cigar stick. What happened next?
One of the ways to kind of secure this is by going public, right? So I ended up going on the stock exchange, doing my own self-registration and filing what they call an S1.
What's an S1?
S1 is basically what they call a prospectus. It's saying, okay, we're going to go public. This is our business plan.
Okay.
Goes with the Securities and Exchange Commission. They have to approve it. It took us almost a good year, and it took me probably normally wouldn't take $500,000.
Wow.
But it took
$500,000?
Took $500,000 just to go public. And even with the experience that I had going public, they just would not want me to be public for some reason.
Why? Is it like the boys club or what?
Yeah.
But why $500,000? Like what do you have to invest in to say I'm public? Like how does that work?
The thing is with the Securities and Exchange Commission, sometimes they drag their feet. So it's 30 days if they come back with these comments, right? So when you do a prospectus, they come back as like auditors and basically go, "Oh, your accounting, this is not right," and they make their line items, the things to need to be approved. Well, we had close to about 45, right? And the thing is, each time that they go, "Yeah, these things need to be changed," and you got to pay a lawyer, you got to pay an auditor. Right? Your accounting's got to go back again. So you're out of another 20, 30, 40,000 here and there, right?
Yeah.
And then it's 30 days waiting the response back again. So they'll go, well, here's 14 more, right?
Why didn't you just tell me that in the beginning?
Exactly.
Like they just keep,
yeah.
Wow, you got to get forensic accounting. You gotta get, oh, God.
So finally,
it's a big nut.
Finally, we got it done. And I called my friends out in California. I'm like, hey, I need what they call a 152C11, which is get a stock symbol. And can we go ahead and file that?
Wow. And what day did you go public? You remember?
The day DJ Khaled said, "Congratulations, Richard and Reginald Saunders and James Cruz on going public," right?
Wow, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Damn. Oh
and so, God. Stock price shot through the roof, and those shares that I had,
What was the opening?
We were at like a penny stock though. We were like 50 cents, but we opened up at like close to like $2, $2.15 or something.
Really?
So, yeah, it was fun times.
Man, I remember those times. I didn't buy in. I didn't. I was an idiot when it came to stocks and investing. Not how I am today, but man, what a ride!
Yeah,
wow. So the youngest African American, you were 27,
20 something. I don't know. Yeah, somewhere
27, 28 on the stock exchange,
right?
Publicly traded Rich Cigars. And how did that feel?
It's a good feeling of success, right? Yeah, it's pride.
Yeah.
It's pride. I take it now because, I see a lot of companies go on the exchange and, it's kind of like now cliche,
It's
right?
cliche, right?
It's cliche,
It's par for the course. It's not like how it was back in the day where it was harder and I guess more rewarding and you're self-made.
Yeah.
Like you didn't have, did you have backing financially? for Rich Cigars?
No.
So this was all you.
This is all me.
Come on.
Personal
James
cash.
didn't throw you a couple coins?
No. No. Absolutely nobody.
So this was all you 100% investing. Wow. So I didn't know that. I thought you had a bunch of investors with you.
Well, you find, little small ones but you go, hey, I just need you as a shareholder, whatever position it is that they, can take on a role is, then that works out. Yeah.
So you opened up, and then what happened to where's Rich Cigars today?
We sold it.
You sold it.
Yeah.
Okay, see, I didn't know that.
So
tell me about this. Why'd you sell it? It's your baby.
The thing is that when you sell a company, like selling a company now, right? It's not just about, you may not see the product anymore, but there's two sides of it. One, selling the company that's listed on the stock exchange, right? The shares to whatever you have inside there to another entity that's probably, can merge in. And so we found a company, which was actually crazy. It was a vape company. Some vapes
Get out of here. Yeah. Come on.
Yep.
And they when did you guys make the sale?
That was probably a good year and a half inception.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So does Rich Cigar still exist?
I don't know. I don't even
did they keep the brand? Did they
once I'm done with a company like
You're
that,
done. You moved on.
Yeah, I moved on.
Any passion to ever do it again?
I smoke I went from 3 cigars a day down to like 1 every few months now, if that.
I'll do like maybe 1 a month.
Yeah.
But I used to smoke 3 a day, sometimes 4.
Bad habit.
I mean, dude, when we were together, it was just nonstop. And then you add the spirits, the vodka, the tequila, and you're drinking, you're smoking. I mean, it's good times.
No, it's bad health.
Yeah, it's about health. Yeah. You're. I mean, back then I was freaking like 290 pounds when we were hanging out, but it was just bad food and smoking and drinking.
Right.
So you hit a ceiling, right?
Yep.
And again, I'm pretty sure you're still passionate about cigars.
Oh yeah.
But not passionate enough that it can interfere with your health, 1, and 2, to go down that rabbit hole of investment again.
No, maybe on a shop or something, but other than that, like I really don't have a passion for it, as much as I did, because it was just something you overcame as a hobby.
Yeah.
And, you maximize the full potential of that hobby. And then you just kind of like let it, you did it.
Yeah. That's my thing. I have a lot of hobbies, and I started thinking about making it into a business, but I'm like, I don't have the passion to go through the ups and downs and the back and forth and the investing and the losses and I'd rather just enjoy my hobby.
Correct.
Have my cigar or have whatever, I like shooting. That's my new thing. I go shooting. But, it's fun I don't want to own a gun shop. I don't want to own a cigar shop, but I'll enjoy a cigar. I'll enjoy shooting at the range. But it's just for me to be like, this is what I'm fully attached to.
Correct.
Because I love talking. I have a passion for storytelling.
Yep.
I have a passion to hear other people's stories. So this is what I'll put all my nuts in, So again, I was just curious to know what was the end or what happened to Rich Cigars, because, we didn't have communication about that. So I was curious. So
it went to a point where, I just got bigger than that passion. I mean, one of the things we couldn't do was actually advertise, tobacco on social media, which is
what?
Yeah. So you couldn't do that.
Now you can.
I don't know.
Well,
I haven't checked the
really.
regulatory
So you couldn't
guidelines
promote on social media. Really?
No.
That's why I never knew that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if I ever seen any ads for cigars. I don't think I have.
I don't think
you have
you've seen
pages that have cigars, but you can't actually buy an ad.
You can't. You can't say, "Hey, buy this tobacco, buy this cigar."
That's crazy.
Yeah. Take a picture of it though, and put it on there and have somebody to
repost or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
Wow, Rich. So what a ride, man. So Rich Cigars, this was around 10 years ago, and then you sold it about 1.5 years ago.
Yep.
So what happened after Rich Cigars?
Got back to consulting back in Wall Street.
Okay.
Just dug a little bit more deeper into my relationships, being more of an advisor, because I don't, you got the years of experience, right?
Yeah.
You got your connections to your institutions, you got your connections to your market makers, you have your connections to the companies. So everything's just back in that whole ecosystem.
Gotcha, man. Yeah, because you went, floorstocks.com.
Correct.
This is your new baby.
Yep.
This is your new Rich Cigars.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to talk about that, right?
Yep.
So first of all, what was the idea behind this? How did it start? What's your goals? Give me the whole 360 of floorstocks.com.
So Floorstocks is sort of like the next Reddit, I guess you would say, right? Or Twitch.
We were talking about that off air. Yeah, like, it's
yeah.
like I called it the next. No disrespect, floor stocks is awesome, but I called it the next Twitch.
Correct.
But for stocks.
But for stocks.
I'll let you elaborate.
Financial literacy right now is very important, especially in today's economy and the things that are going on with the new, administration and stuff like that. People are looking for outlets and channels to be able to go to and find financial content.
It's a big thing.
Everyone seems like they're an analyst right now, right?
Everyone knows how to trade. Everyone knows how to invest.
Everyone knows exactly what stock to pick, right? Everyone's an analyst now. So, it's crazy part. Traders, So crazy part of I'm on the floor of the exchange, right? Like a couple of months ago. And I'm sitting back with some of like these analysts that are there, right? Mm-hmm. And it just dawns on me because Trump comes in and he makes this move that said, I negotiated a deal with China or something like that, or didn't negotiate. And I know the stock market took a plummet, right?
Yes. And this was a couple of weeks ago.
Well, this was a couple months ago, right?
But it was one that happened a couple of weeks ago.
We've been had it kind of go back and forth, right?
Yeah.
Very volatile.
Yes.
But before we go on the exchange, my partner, he goes, if the Dow drops below, 600 points or 700, 800 points, then we're going to have to get out, right? I mean, off the floor of the exchange when the feds are coming, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm sitting there and there's a pool with a few analysts, right? And they're going, we don't know what to do. We can't, there's no prediction to look back at how do we handle these scenarios.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
And I'm going, you guys are analysts. You're supposed to.
This is your job.
Yeah. But they're like 3 for 1, right? Now, for one analyst, there's like 3 in the pocket, right? Mm-hmm. That are trying to have some sort of predictability scale to look at what took place around this time. Mm-hmm. It's absolutely none.
None.
And I'm going, well, there's a bunch of creators that could probably tell you how to fix this, right?
That's true. Yeah.
My partner's looking at me, he's going to go crazy, right? They're like, you're pretty funny, right? But because it's true, right?
Yeah.
And everyone's analyst, I'm going, why not just allow what you know right now, which is your communication with companies and visibility, reach with them. Why not create a tool where retail traders can come in, live chat with companies. The companies, let's say if they're doing their earnings calls, can go in and be able to have the chat boxes right next in their live stream right there, and people, the community can actually engage with those companies.
That's a cool thing. I mean, right? I know Robinhood does the meetings, but I don't know if you get chat on them.
No, all of us just
you get listen in.
Yeah, listen in, right?
But you can't add value. You can't talk. You can't communicate.
No, you just listen in. I mean, nowadays CEOs really need to kind of step in and take more of accountability, be more relative to, we do these deep dive interviews as well on the media company side too. So it's just like, why not have you guys now have total transparency with retail investors? And
the retail investors will fall in love with the person.
And with the company,
if you have
right?
the CEO
Correct.
of the company telling a story.
Yep.
I mean, I'm just using you as an example. I used to drive trucks, and my friend died in a truck accident, and I crashed my Lambo. These are all real stories that connect to the human heart.
Correct.
So kind of bridging that gap, so to speak, of Wall Street CEO, and kind of humanizing them, and making them seem like they're a person just like us, and you get the buy-in on the product. And you do that by these, countless, content spaces, which is what you're like basically the floorboard for.
Yeah. So floor stocks has basically just been able to, each user been able to connect with each other, right? Mm-hmm. So if you're into a certain stock, let's say you're in like the tech sector, right?
Okay.
Then you and I can become friends. Like if we were on, LinkedIn or something, we can connect through every single app that we have. If I'm a creator, financial creator, I can come on there, do my content. Have my audience the same way, but I can actually connect through every single app, YouTube to X to LinkedIn, underneath. So when I'm going inside my own network inside, floor stocks, I'm interconnected between everything, right? So it's just having the flexibility to be able to control your content, and plus the companies as well can have the visibility in this whole ecosystem with traders and, other brokers that are around or whatever the case is.
That's awesome, man. Do you have any competition in the space?
Not right now.
No one's doing this. This is trailblazing.
Trailblazing, yeah.
Any red tape with the SEC or anything like that?
No,
like
I
any
mean,
regulations that have to be followed? Because you're dealing with money, right? You're
Correct.
dealing with market. You're creating more interest in the market with these companies. There's no type of red tape at all that's involved.
I mean, there's always our SEC guidelines, which I have plenty of counsel for, and also I have experience as well.
Gotcha.
If I had to say anything, I'd say I'm an SEC attorney by trade. Right?
All the years you've been doing this, you probably know every trick in the book.
Yeah, so there's a great story with that, right? So like even with the SEC, with dealing with DJ Khaled, the story, that came up. They contacted me while I was heading. I think I was going over to the DR, pick up some tobacco. Yeah,
get out of here.
And he had gotten into trouble with. I think Floyd Mayweather, I believe at one point.
DJ Khaled?
I think it may have been him and Floyd Mayweather on some sort of cryptocurrency thing.
Oh, I've heard. I vaguely remember that, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Well,
and they contacted you?
Well, it wasn't about that, right? So SEC wants to sniff around a lot and catch you slipping, so to speak, right? Mm-hmm. So if you're not within their guidelines of things, they'll try to trip you up. So they came. My attorney was calling me, and I was heading over to the DR. He's like, "Yeah, the SEC, the examiner wants to give you a call." I said, "Sure." He goes, "If there's anything you can't answer, you let me answer it." Okay, I don't have anything to hide.
Wow.
They called me. First things they did was starting to go over our inventory. Oh, where's your inventory produced? Why don't you have this on your records? So this, well, I understand general accounting principles, right? Even though I didn't finish college, like you're
aware.
Yeah, I'm very aware of that.
Self-taught. Yeah.
So I go down the records with them. I go, well, this is why our inventory's over there, so it's not unearned revenue until it actually comes back over there. Okay, good. Here's our auditors. You can refer back to this page. There you go. Right. Then they finally get to a question. We see that you have been in music videos and you have DJ Khaled around, and how much was he compensated?
Whoa.
How much stock was he given? That's what you want, right?
Yeah.
Well, guess
that's
what
they wanted, yeah.
I didn't give him any stock because I knew you guys would come fishing for it. All right. To see if he was sold it, to see if he would have did this and did that. They didn't give none of those guys stock.
So they thought they were looking at it through the lens of insider trading,
Correct.
So to speak.
Yeah.
Got it.
It would have been market manipulation. Make a great statement with DJ Khaled. Let's find him or something,
I see what you're saying, man. Mm-hmm. Wow. You still speak to DJ Khaled?
No, not really. I mean, because there's no business right now that, I would need him within that sector. Mm-hmm. It's great guy. Great guy.
Yeah. No, I can imagine. I mean, the guy's out of here now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. When you were dealing with him, that was like the beginning of the takeover that he had.
Correct.
And now he's just like,
he's
a household name.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Wow. So floorstocks.com. So you built this now, and what's your vision for this company in the future?
What it's going to do is actually change communication between, having transparency between companies and retail investors, and also have more retail engagement, right? Mm-hmm. And also have the ability to be able to dissect a company if it's real or if it's fake, right?
Gotcha.
But it allows CEOs to come on and actually say, okay, this is what I do, and this is our company. But you have to answer up to these retail investors.
Transparency.
That's
key. That's the number one game right now, especially in this volatile, world of stocks and just the world in general. It's just a really crazy place right now. It's a crazy time to be living.
Yes.
But yeah, transparency, I think, is something that I don't know. I think when I was younger, man, we're the same age kind of, so, you could feel me on this. It was either black or it was white.
Correct.
Now, you can see a news clipping on social media and you have to dissect if that's real or not.
Yep.
So I think transparency is missing in every facet of every business today.
Correct.
So you creating that space of like, hey, listen, this is the deal.
Correct.
Here you go.
Yep.
Make your own assumption, make your own resolution, whatever you want to invest in, go ahead.
Yep.
Here's the information, do with it as you may.
Right.
But we're going to be honest and transparent.
Yeah. We can only just expose the company, right? Like that's just visibility. But whatever the CEO does with the company is ultimately in his, the company's fate.
Right.
Between him and the shareholders.
Wow. I love this idea, man. I mean, I'm excited. Is it live now or not yet?
We're almost live. We're probably about a good 3 weeks away.
3 weeks away?
Yeah.
Which is good. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's going to be pretty cool, man.
No, I'm excited to see the journey, man, because this episode is probably going to come out in about a month and a half. So we'll get this, when this comes out, you guys will be rocking already.
We'll
So, hopefully that can help add some value to Floor Stocks with this interview, because, I mean, this is some cool stuff that people that are in the know and people that are not in the know that just want to get into investing, even on a minuscule level.
Correct.
This is a good, launching pad for them, right?
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. What would you, for my listeners that are listening and they're very gun shy on investing, or they just started a portfolio, what's your ABC method to new investors? What should they be looking to get into?
Now, one of the things I can't do is I recommend stocks, right? So,
not stocks, but just like a pathway.
Yeah, for investments.
Yeah, for investments. Like if you know what, I have 10 grand a year that I can invest. Like what should I go through? I'll let you answer.
I would always say that investing is something that is going to work for you, right? Like your own goals, your own ambitions, your own purposeful things that you're actually going to make you keep going. Like it's crazy. This guy asked me about 2 weeks ago, how hard was it to get in the stock market? I go, dude, 26 years hard.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
26 years hard, right? And so he was like, "Well, what should I be doing?" I said, "What do you like doing?" I'm great with my hands. I'm a plumber. Well, go figure it out, right?
Yeah,
keep doing it, but think bigger, right? Don't just sit here and just go fix a house, and just be happy with that one, right, that you did.
Mm-hmm.
Figure out how you're going to maximize the potential with that. Mm-hmm. Right, like everything's about elevating what you know, especially a skill set. Right, just elevate it to like your maximal capabilities. You'll be fine. That's just finding your own journey, so to speak.
But getting back to the investment, like there's a lot of mutual funds and like VTSAX. I heard is like amazing. Mm-hmm. Like, did you recommend any new people to do stuff like that to get their feet wet?
Yeah, I mean, there's good index funds out there now.
Because that's traditionally what people do, right?
Correct.
You put in a certain amount, you get an average return rate of 8%.
Yeah. Over
time, it compounds. Like, that's what I hear is like the name of the game.
I'm more of an aggressive approach, right? So that's with anything in business or even on the trading side of what it was, right? Like always just aggressive. That those things don't work out for everyone. Mm-hmm. So today's market, like even with what we're going on right now, money's still moving around. It's moving around like even.
It's on sale.
Yeah.
I mean, it was on sale during COVID.
Yeah.
That's when it was like super crazy.
It's even more stupid crazy right now.
Yeah, no, it's a good time to invest and to get some skin in the game. And you say you're aggressive, like, so you consider yourself like a big gambler in the space. I'm just going to put all my chips in on this.
I've always been a big gambler.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's, have you taken big losses as well?
Yes, I have, right? That was initially, but it's okay. Now I can't, trade off of, clients I represent. I don't do that. I can't, right? So every now and then, I'll, dibble and dabble in some of the trades, that are like, let's maybe just buy a few shares here and there, but never into, any of my clients' companies or anything like that. So watching the markets kind of like shift or become very shifty, watching the old Chinese companies come back over here again doing the same thing, you see that we're back in like, I wouldn't even say it's COVID times. I would say that we're back in those, and that recessionary time where we had the housing market that was, causing all the chaos and stuff. Yeah. Even though our numbers are probably showing that, we're looking good in the market, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
So you think it's a bear market now? You think it's more bear than bull?
I think that once we get to that catalyst point of, okay, this is beyond stupid.
Yeah.
Then things will kind of like start to, take
receipt.
that. Yeah, receipt. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So you're saying that the market now is really just a figment of our imagination.
I think it's overly inflated.
It's overly inflated.
Mm-hmm.
Really? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that? You think it's because of just the volatility of the market now, or people overspending, tariffs?
I mean, it's just. I think there's two sides of a market that we probably don't see. That's the Fed's actually, the Treasury, pushing more money into the market. Keep it inflated.
Well, they keep lowering the Fed rate though.
Well, they have no choice now, right?
Why? Please.
I mean, you can only stretch so much out of people
they're
and
choking
create.
people.
Yeah,
like, 8%. Now I think it's like at 6 or something. But
correct. It's not really doing much. I mean, if there's not much of GDP growth or income growth for most people as well, so it's now you got to try to catch up with hyperinflation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
At this time, I don't think so.
Not easy.
Yeah.
What's the solution?
Well, I mean, that's where the crystal ball comes in, right?
Yeah.
Like, so the solution is it starts at an administrative role, right?
Okay.
Where we're just going to have to bite the bullet on some things as a country, that we want to have all these transitional ways of, trying to control where we spend our money or how we spend our money. Those things really have to, systematic approach has to change.
That's a governing thing from
It's a governing
state to
thing,
state.
correct,
Yeah, it's mercurial. It goes all the way down to local towns and cities, and it's just, how do we get here?
I just think there's gloves off right now.
Yeah,
on Wall Street. Yeah,
really,
it's gloves off. Yeah.
As far as elaborate on that, gloves off.
I mean, it's just kind of like, if you look at a lot of the core signs. I mean, you look at where our regulatory guideline system has been shrunken down. You're talking about FINRA. You're talking about the staff at the SEC. You look at the SEC's website right now, they'll tell you we're short-staffed.
Really?
Yeah. Lack of funding, whatever the case is, right?
Lack of funding.
There's a reason why that's done.
Why is that? What reason is that?
It's gloves off again.
It's gloves. When was the last time it was gloves off again? When was the last time this era happened in Wall Street?
That was around the housing market.
So you're talking about the 2004-ish, 2007.
I mean, that's when the banks were going in and going, "Hey, you need a car?"
That's right. Yeah, we don't have to show me no credit. Just sign it.
There you go. We'll be fine, right? So
you're saying we're back to those times?
I think they were going to get back there. I think right now, where banks are starting to, offer so many packages for refinancing, because it's like they're not going to be able to keep up with, the hyperinflation. So they're trying to lower it, but you really you're too far into the hole with it.
And the problem is that the people they're attracting are the ones that don't have the money.
Correct.
Yeah. So we'll give you a free refinance at 3% or 4%. These people can't even afford to pay their rent.
They can't even afford to keep groceries in it.
Yeah.
So it's the price of groceries are
no, it's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's scary that, but it's funny how the banks target the low income, high satiable, desire for, material items.
Correct.
And the guys that got a great portfolio and got millions invested, they're walking around with $5 t-shirts. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Well, there's a way their portfolios are protected. Institutions are always keeping themselves, the media, protecting their portfolios.
Everything's all protected, and then the little scraps that the everybody else gets behind, they get caught up in debt.
Yeah.
That they can't, and then you got bankruptcy, and then the bank just finds somebody else to transfer the debt to, and
Correct.
It's just a fun game of hot potato.
Exactly.
That's exactly what. So you're saying we're in the hot potato game right now. Yeah. Who survives?
The ones that are actually more interconnected with, the institutions and the funds and the media and the way that things are, swayed. Those are the ones that are protected.
And then the average, circling back to your father, the average person that's a post office worker.
I mean, you look at what fixed income was, after retirement, having a little extra cushion, then, hyperinflation on everyday goods and cost of goods, takes away that luxury living lifestyle of a retiree that was supposed to retire happy.
Yes.
Now has to call upon, others for help. That's what the situation scenarios are. Or that grandmother that's back here, used to just keep the grandkids. Now it's over at Walmart, just
working part-time.
Yeah, just
as a
taking
door
a secondary job. Yeah.
Man, I mean, are you optimistic for the future?
Do I got what?
Are you optimistic for the future?
I mean, that's just, yeah. I mean, yeah. I think that it'll get worse before it gets better.
But just like anything else, the market always goes down, comes back up.
Yeah.
So you think we're in a down period, but it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Yeah. I think we're at the tipping area right now that it's going to get a lot worse than what we would think is going to get better. And a lot of people may go against what I'm saying, right? Like, I mean, that's, if I say that with guys on Wall Street, some of the key analysts right now, they'll call me crazy, right? Because they'll say, well, what do you think that? And I'm just going to, we're the numbers, the indicators are here. Like if you guys, we're like just a couple points shy off from going, this benchmark was back in,
2007.
2007, yeah.
Scary.
Yeah.
Scary times, man. Oh, God. Any advice you can give to anybody?
Hang on.
Hang on?
Hang on. Take whatever you can, as far as if you're a trader, I understand the fact is right now this gloves off, which means that if you get caught up in a stock and you think you're going to be greedy and go back in again, the institution may swipe you under, right? So don't be greedy if you're just a trader.
Take it easy.
Take it easy. Yeah.
Good stuff, man. Rich, I got a couple questions here before we get you out of here, man. I ask this to everybody that comes on, their mastermind questions, just to get to know you a little better. Quick answers, and if there's a story that's attached to it, please feel free to share.
Sure.
What book have you read that inspired you the most?
That was a book that was beginners to trading, dummies for trading. I think it's
Dummies for Trading?
Yeah,
Really?
that's the book I picked up when I was first starting out.
So that's what helped you out.
Yeah,
Gotcha,
it came with the little purple thing and the yellow backing or whatever it was.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And that was your Bible as far as like
Bible.
investing in it.
Yeah,
Good stuff,
at
man.
the time.
What person in your life has brought you the most influence?
My kids.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. And why is that?
Well, you have to as a father look at like their future and kind of go, okay, at this time right now, Jesus Christ, what's it going to look like here in the next like 15 years for them?
Scary times.
It's very scary.
Scary times. Oof. What keeps you driven in life?
Just that goal itself, the purpose, the reason of like creativity, like innovation and creativity. I love it.
Love it, man.
Yeah.
You like to see what's the next thing on the horizon and trailblaze that.
Oh, yeah.
Love it. Love it. What was your lightest and darkest moment in life?
Oh, lightest moment in life was obviously seeing the birth for my kids, right? That's like the joy thing that can stay with you. The darkest moments.
One dark moment that you were like, what the hell did I get myself into? What is this life?
That pivotal moment, I did crash that Lamborghini.
Really? Get out of here.
Yeah.
Did that change your life?
Oh, wake up call forever.
Really?
It wasn't hurt, but just that notion of, you could have been.
You could lose it all.
Yeah.
You could lose it all. You stopped drinking after that?
Oh, yeah.
Like no more drinking dry?
I drink wine. I drink wine every
I
night.
drink wine, yeah. But you were hitting it hard when you got into that accident?
Yeah. That was just dumb, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah. Wake up.
Jeez, thank God you're still here to talk about it, man.
Yeah.
Well, this question you probably already answered it, but I'll ask you again. Have you ever had any vices and how did you overcome them?
Yeah. Working out, obviously was a big thing for me. So losing weight, eating bad habits was always a vice, right?
That was always a vice.
Always a vice, yeah.
You were always eating bad stuff,
Yeah.
nice steak, cowboy steak.
It was the worst time was when I was
you're
actually
from Texas, man.
Yeah.
You big or go home.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So the worst time was when we had rich cigars. We would sit around and have a thing of like cognac or something and every day. And it's like all the sugars and alcohol. It's like, oh gosh. And after you going through that and live a lot more cleaner lifestyle, it's just like, dude, it's the best thing ever.
Yeah, no, you look great, by the way, man.
Thanks.
No, you look awesome.
Yeah.
What does the next level of success in your life look like?
Retirement. Not really, we say retirement, right?
But real retirement.
Like real retirement, like, building something so massive that it changes the world, right? Like that's it. That's it. Be done with it, and
Sell it.
Yeah, sell it. Yeah, exactly.
But I don't know. You might have the itch to go somewhere to start something new. I mean, that's the downfall of being a visionary,
Correct.
right? Is that you never really are done.
No,
You know.
Yeah.
So-
This is the first time I've actually invested more heavily on myself than I did the first time, which is so great and awesome because now it's like I'm investing all these years of experience and putting it into something.
Right.
That's going, okay, this is your MJ's last game or last dance, right?
Yeah.
Like whatever it
Last
is, right?
dance, yeah.
Like, yeah, this is it. Yeah.
This is good. Hopefully your swan song.
Yeah.
Yeah. Leave on a high note, brother.
Exactly.
Last question before I get you out of here, man. What's the last thing you purchased that changed your life? This gets everybody.
I know, right? Like,
Everybody gets this one bad. Take your time. Don't worry about it.
Last thing I purchased
That changed your life.
that changed my life. Now, we could say materialistic things, or you can
Anything
say
it
we
could
want.
be materialistic. Well, something you purchase physically. So yeah, but then if there's something like an ideology, or it could be anything you like.
For me, buying back stock
From
shareholders,
that changed your life.
it does.
So you do that on a consistent basis, buying back from. Now, how did that change your life?
Well, the reason why it changes is because it changes, it changes the ability to create during a time that most people can't see how far you're going, right?
Mm-hmm.
With it and just going, well, let me buy it, right? Let me buy this technology from you. Let me buy your shares. Let me do this, right? And so you're kind of like going, I'm in on this regardless of anything else. It's up here for me,
Yeah.
right? So buying that back and like being able to say, okay, you know what? Now watch this turn into something that, I bought back from you that you were ready to sell.
Yeah.
And it gives you it does something to your brain where it's like, you're controlling your own destiny with that. So yeah, having the ability and flexibility to do so is a beautiful thing.
That's dope, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually a perfect answer. Yeah, because you take back what people thought was not worth anything, you turn it into gold.
Yeah. I did that with Rich Cigars too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you changed your life.
That changed my life, yeah.
You hit it on the head, brother.
Exactly.
Man. Yeah. Rich, man, listen, thank you so much for making time. I know you got a flight to catch in a little bit, but having you travel out here and share your story with my audience and being able to connect with you again, it was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Floorstocks.com, I think that's going to take off for you.
Oh, yeah.
I know it's going to take off for you.
Oh, yeah.
And your knowledge and your vast information and everything you've done in Wall Street, to see where you came from such humble beginnings to where you are today, it is inspiring. It is powerful, and I think it's something that people need to hear. It's very motivational, man.
Thank you.
You inspired me today with your story. So, I want to thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it, man.
I appreciate you for having me, man.
My pleasure,
It's been
man.
great to catch up.
Yeah, it was fun, right?
Yeah.
Well, you don't smoke cigars as much anymore, but next time you're in town,
I will smoke one, yeah.
Yeah, next time you're in town, we got to have a cigar, man. We got to
do
catch up. And then, we'll talk offline, but definitely, I told you this could be something I want to make into some type of finance, side show type of thing where I can have different finance people on.
Correct.
I know you have all the connections, so we'd love to make that happen.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
I'm excited,
I'm also
man.
for it,
That's it, brother. Anything now before I let you go, look at that camera there. Let everybody know where they can find you, what they can expect from you, and all your information.
Yeah. So I am Richard Davis. You can catch me on Instagram as Davis Richard. You can also sign up for us at floorstocks.com as a user, a creator, or just an investor, a retail investor. But it's a great place, great hub to get knowledge. Even some of the ones that actually offer master classes that I know will be on there as well. Smarten up. I mean, it's community built, Wall Street driven. So let's catch up.
That's it, brother.
Make it happen.
Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, thank
Appreciate you, man. Guys, that is a wrap on episode 53 of I'm an Artist, Not a Salesman podcast. If this podcast inspired or moved you in any way, please subscribe to my Apple, Spotify, and YouTube platforms by typing in Luis Guzman, I'm an Artist, Not a Salesman, and clicking that subscribe button. Please make sure to follow my Instagram as well, at I'm an Artist, Not a Salesman, for further content and updates. I am thankful for every listener. I pray you have a blessed one, not a stressed one. Peace.
I need you by my side.